Join my club. We appreciate everything that you do. If you're on YouTube, are we still on YouTube?
Yeah.
No. Surprise! Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that'll change.
Okay.
Chat Thursday, YouTube piss off.
Slavery was okay. I hate. It feels good because I didn't say the last part.
Yes, you did.
No, that's not me. I'm not whatever that guy's name is. Was that an actor? In a movie? In a thing? What happened? Okay, so I love the update for the court. Like, we're not going to include it in the record. I mean, it's already in the record. Good luck. Like, I don't understand what you guys. We don't want to encourage further leaks. Well, they're coming. So, yeah. I think you just piss people off more by doing things like this. That's what I'm finding is a large part of the problem is people's responses to difficult situations. Sometimes things are just messy and difficult. Right? Sometimes you just have to include some stuff where you're like, well, we didn't want to include that, but we have to do that now. And it's messy, it's difficult, it's going to cause us problems, right?
Like sex.
Well,
sometimes it's messy and difficult.
And it causes problems.
Any hole will do.
Yeah.
But that's the same thing that's happening in Chippewa Falls, and I guarantee you around the country where school boards or administrations or whatever the people are that are in control of these local communities will make really, really bad decisions. And then the cover-up is really what gets them in the most trouble. If you come out and admit it, and you come out and say, "Hey, we have to do something like this. Apologize. We need to change this policy, and we're now going to notify parents." Or, yeah, we're going to include these pages in the public record because they're already in the public record. People can deal with that much easier than they can deal with, "Nope, we made the right call, even though the law doesn't require us to do this," or even though it doesn't even matter because it's already in the public record anyway. Everybody saw this. Millions upon millions, tens of millions of people saw this. Easy, tens of millions, probably closer to 100 million people saw this stuff. They just make a lot of bad mistakes.
I'm hearing a lot of Gerald Morgan speaking and not enough Kate William.
Yeah. Well, I was waiting on you to
Come to your lady voice.
William.
You've been hanging out with your lesbian friends too much.
They're fabulous.
Hi. Hello.
Only 2 lesbians are fabulous.
You do have 2 lesbian friends. He always asks me because he has lesbian friends who are very much of his ilk. He's like, "No, my lesbian friends say, oh, do you want to come to dinner?" I'm like, it's too much gay.
Does it cancel out though? Because they like women, he likes men, and so is it like an equation?
You know, it's just I feel like I'm being honest with my eyes. So it's
that's a slight against.
Before we go to Chat Thursday, and we wanted to have people in Chat Thursday, we were sitting there talking. And by the way, thank you for getting Cuban sandwiches yesterday.
Oh, you're welcome. Those were good.
They were good, weren't they?
Really? Yeah, actually, all the food was good.
It's a surprise because you weren't here yesterday. We were talking about Cuban sandwiches and how we all love a good Cuban sandwich.
Yeah.
And he was so thoughtful. We came out and him and Pops Crowder had gone out to get us nothing, no surprise, none other than Cuban sandwiches.
Oh, really?
And they could use a little more, maybe a little more meat, a tiny bit more.
I was fine with it. I mean, I love lots of
How about you? But then, as we were sitting there eating, it was me, Josh, and Johnny Boy primarily, and we just all kept looking at each other going, "Holy shit, I can't believe this
Hey,
is
JC.
real." You were telling us stories about your...
How's the picture look? I got a new
People really resonated with
driving
the
phone.
American. We were talking about that as well, and something different in blood. But
I upgraded my
American mother, and,
my work iPhone. An iPhone normally, but I upgraded it. I'm testing it out.
Being raised in New York City in the 70s was rough.
No, what do you remember? You said first off you remember most about your mother.
She stabbed everybody.
No, well, yeah. Whoa. Yeah. No, physically, you said you remember about your mother.
Oh, my mom. So when my mom was not working, which was rare, she was in the house, no bra. She had a house dress, her boobs down by her knees.
Yeah.
She had such big boobs, she had indents on her shoulders that were like an inch thick. And she would wear men's black socks, her house dress, and she screamed all day long. And she was sewing our clothes because we couldn't wear clothes, so she would make clothes for us when she was home, rarely on the weekends. And it was just like chaos.
Yeah.
And then you smelled food cooking from somewhere. I mean, it was just everything. And like it started like at 6 in the morning, and she just from 6 to like midnight. It was just one big screaming mess in the house.
Yes.
With all my brothers and sisters were all hoodlums.
And you said she loved conflict. She would insert herself.
If there was a fight over there, she would jump right into it and finish it. Yeah.
And nothing about her, just getting in there.
Oh no, she just loved the fight.
Well, you said too she'd be at because New York, the subway, and then you were telling us stories, and it was multiple stories of stabbings. She stabbed people.
Well, people would come up to us, and people were creepy. It was always men. They'd come up to us, and they like would sit next to us in the subway, and they would like touch my sister, like in front of my mom.
Yeah.
Like, and we're kids.
Yeah.
And my mom was always the same thing. What's the matter with you? And she would literally like start punching the guy behind her back, and she'd take out her little knife and start stabbing.
Hell yeah.
Wow. She starts stabbing. And then there was a guy seeing this woman on the train one time, and so she jumped right in the middle of started stabbing the guy, and he dropped to the ground. And
one does.
And this train was about to take off, and she put her foot in the door, and she wouldn't let it go until local police showed up.
After she had stabbed him.
Oh, she stabbed me. I think they told her thank you.
Yeah, for
stopping the crime.
Because they see a guy, probably the violent offender, they see a little Cuban lady with children, he's over there and stabbed him. Blood all over her.
Yeah, that makes total sense, actually. Get these kids out of here.
New York was rough.
You also so I was saying, how many times do you think your mom actually stabbed? Like more than 10?
There's no number that can compare it. No, I don't know. There was a lot.
It was more than 10.
It was usually on the subways.
Except the one time you got jumped by a bunch of bullies, you told me, right?
I did, Puerto Ricans. Of course, New York. After school, and of course, I think my mom's never picked me up from school. The one day she picked me up from school, I'm just getting beaten by third grade, getting beaten by all these little kids. I see my mom take out this little like pocket knife. It wasn't a pocket knife. It was like a nail clipper thing with a knife on it, and she just started stabbing little kids.
Oh my God! Those are 8-year-olds.
I don't know if she got any, but she at least went out.
She had to bend over.
She's just like, you little son of a bitch, you little son of a bitch. What's what a mother's supposed to do?
I don't know if they're supposed to stab children.
Dune 2, when's that coming out?
Kids all the time.
He's telling her she's just sort of stabbing them. Like, what?
Oh yeah, I heard a few scream and run.
I can imagine they were minors being stabbed by a full-grown Cuban lady.
Practice my stabbing. You live in this horrible state.
And then you also told me
Somewhere out there, there's like
gonna grab some
6
coffee
or
real
7
quick.
people who are teaching their kids
Oh, really?
to mind their
That's in the
business.
theaters, though?
It's a dangerous place.
Yes.
Lady's gonna pop out and start
I don't go to the movies much anymore. That's what's cool about technology is I don't have to do that.
Just don't touch your kids.
I love, but the problem is also he was a little hoodlum, and so he probably deserved some of the trouble that he got. But
All right, I'll be right back.
Because you only got the second half of the story.
Tell us something. Tell us about the smoke bomb.
Oh, that was terrible.
The hoodlum road.
Yeah.
It was like what, 78? Whenever the movie Saturday Night Fever came out, the movie was hot, and
You were hot after seeing the film.
yeah,
You had a fever. It was Saturday
I never
night.
liked John Travolta.
He's one of you.
Scientology.
I hope not. Now he's balding. I was
77, William.
Was that what it's 77? Anyway, I remember it being hot, and we walked into a convenience store, and this very handsome man with a kind of a nice jacket, he was just really well groomed, sold us a smoke bomb, which were really popular back in the day.
Yeah.
And so my friends and I decided, oh, let's go throw it into somebody's window.
Of course. That's a funny prank.
So we went down, and we found a window. It was like the 3rd floor, and there was like 4 of us. And I told my friend, okay, so when it starts smoking, throw it. And so I lit it, and it started. Fuse went off, and then all of a sudden, boom! It was a cherry bomb. It wasn't a smoke bomb.
What?
It blew my friend's hand off.
And what did you do when it boomed?
I ran. I ran because I'm not hanging up with gimps.
It blew your friend's hand off, like for real, or did
Like,
you just
yeah,
hurt
no,
it?
like it demolished his, like his hand.
Wow.
I ran. I thought I lost my hearing. I just had this.
Oh,
I mean, I ran for like 4 blocks.
Oh.
Would not stop, and then finally I came to, and
yeah. That must have been such a hard day for you.
it was such a.
And then he told his mom had to go stab his friend.
I didn't tell my mom things. You kidding? She probably would.
Just stab you.
I remember you said that,
Wow.
that it was expensive, like $5 for the smoke bomb.
It was $5.
How did you get the $5, William? You told me you used to get money.
Again, I was a hoodlum. No, actually, I didn't. I was smart though. I was close. I was a hoodlum. I was telling the group yesterday I loved child molesters. What? Loved them.
Not for the reason you think.
No, it's a different reason.
They would. It never failed. All through like elementary school, living in New York, I was on my own basically. My mom was working 2 jobs, and I was the last one in the house. So what do? Go out and cause trouble. So I would hang out in the bowling alley or the haven for child molesters, indoor skating rings, which I never got. Skate parks.
It is a weird place for
In the
freaks.
70s, it was the worst. So I was playing bowling.
Hello.
Hello, Doc. How are you?
What's up?
Do you ever feel like, as an IT guy, people just call you and they're like, "Fix my problem"?
Well, I mean,
Is that
that's
kind of
that's kind of part of the job. So
that's the game. Yeah. Our desk phone here, the one that we have, or the main one at the front, it's cutting out incessantly since that. I mean, it had nothing to do with it probably,
Right.
but since that AT&T blackout,
right.
it just seems like we.
Well, you know what? You're not the only one that is. I'm gonna have to check. I'm gonna check all of them because actually the Pittsburgh site just said that they can't call out on theirs. They can receive calls, but they can't call out.
It's for us. It's that people can't hear us or we can't hear them. Okay, doing that for a day is normal, but
Yeah.
you know, we're days in now where it's just like we can't. We have like five calls back and forth just to get the message between
All right,
2 people.
yeah.
You know.
Let me see if there's
So
a,
if you
there's
could take
a-
a peek and
yeah,
see.
if there's an update or something like that. I should be at my office in about 35 minutes. I'll pull it up right away. Take a look at it.
Sweet. All right. Cool. Thanks.
All right, man. We're going.
All right, later.
William taking his life in his hands with pedophiles.
It was $5.
He needed to blow more friends' hands off.
That was like back in those days. That was like $10.
Oh, I go to
Yeah,
the
like
candy
maybe
store. I go to the candy store. I stole so many things. I'm surprised. Thank God for my sister who took me away from my mom. And we had no more house. But boy, I was breaking windows. We were doing horrible things. Stealing. We were going to all the stores, stealing codes, stealing. I mean, we were just bad kids. But that's what happens when you have a single parent, you know, working and not being able to watch over the kids.
Right.
I mean, this is exactly what you get from single households.
Yeah. And you thought Puerto Ricans gave you a bad name.
Oh yeah, no, they're still worse.
Yeah, well, and then and we'll go to chats, but the other story you told me, because you said your mom would insert herself in every conflict, where you were sleeping one night, and you lived in Queens, right?
We lived in Queens, right down the street from when the fake demic was happening. You remember that hospital they kept showing in New York with all the fake coffins?
Yes.
And then the barricades
Yeah.
at the hospital. We lived 2 blocks on the same street where that hospital is. FYI, the barricades have always been there since the 70s. That hospital is so busy, they have 2 emergency rooms.
Okay.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So we lived on the first floor on Elmhurst, next to the Elk Hospital, and it was summer. and we had the window open, which I think now it's so weird. Like we had the windows open all night, like, and we were on the street level.
Yeah.
Oh.
And I was sleeping, and all of a sudden, it's had to be like 2, 3 in the morning, but it was a weekend, and I hear rape, help, rape, and I'm thinking maybe I'm sleeping, but you can hear it really clear. All of a sudden, I see my mom jumping out of bed, literally just hurdles the window out, and she's literally just, without even stopping, she literally just jumps out the window in her house dress with her tits down to her knees, running down the street. I was like, that bitch is crazy.
Looking for somebody to stab.
Right, it's a good place to start.
Yeah, somebody needs a stab. Actually, I threw her the knife.
Yes.
Mommy,
Like a
you
baton.
forgot.
You forgot your knife.
It makes me like her more because
No.
she's stabbing the right people. I mean,
Yeah,
not
she
kids,
fucked.
maybe, but you know,
Not kids.
I'm sure she had a case to be made. And she also, you said, this is one thing too. Every Cuban American I know, I've known some who are doctors and lawyers, and they still work a side hustle on the weekends. And your mom, so she worked 2 jobs, but she also, you said, got a street.
Oh yeah, she had. In Manhattan, she had that job forever, which was back in the day when moons worked. Yeah, we had great insurance. But then she decided to go to Flushing Meadow Park, and she bought a cart, hot dog cart. So and she was a very good cook. So she started making on the weekends shish kebabs, and that park's obviously really busy with already. Right, it's just a really busy park. So she would do really well selling the food, but there was a little problem. She was also selling beer. It was illegal. So people come up to her and they're like, Amada, can I have that wonderful shish kebab and that cold Corona? She reached down and get it to them. They caught her.
What did they do?
They fined her.
Oh, they did.
And they said, no selling beer. She said, okay. So then she was selling again. They caught her selling beer again. Fined her again. Said, no, last warning. And so then they caught her again the 3rd time, and they took her cart. They just literally, as she was sitting there cooking, they took her cart away. She's like, shit, okay, I've already made my $500 today.
There's some kids who need stabbing. You know, but all you can do is you take the good from your parents, and then you try and do better. Or you don't have kids because, biologically it's impossible. Let's go to Chat Thursday. This is why I say, when we would do the shows, we do the meet and greet. We get some people who would say, as Bikini William, you're making that up. It just needs to be, no, I'm not.
Not at all.
Absolutely not.
It's real.
Well, we couldn't make up that story.
No.
I'm not an amazing writer, but there's no way I could come up with galloping, hurdling through a window,
With tits down to her knees.
It's down to her knees. It's a
Stabbing
real
children.
person stabbing children on the subway. It
Yeah.
sounds like a boogeyman made up to scare kids.
She was scary.
We'd sit down in a writer's breakup, like, I don't know, she stabs children? Like, no, that's too on the nose.
That's fucking ridiculous.
Ridiculous. Who does that? Come on. Plus, no one will find it funny because it's children who are being stabbed.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, I think this is pretty funny.
They were bad kids anyway. I'm sure most of them are in jail.
Yeah, probably.
With a wound.
Yes.
Or dead from their wounds.
Or one eye.
No idea. Hispanics, they really do like the blades. All right, let's grab some chat.
All right, chat for Gay William from Dane from Golden Corral. Have you ever faced resistance working in the entertainment industry for who you are? If so, was it for being gay, Cuban, conservative, or something else?
Take your pick.
Well, in the entertainment seriously, not for being gay.
No.
No, never. I never had any issues. Nobody ever. No.
But you're not super open with everybody about your politics.
No. I mean, people don't really care. Like most of my clients that I have, they're not political at all. They wouldn't give a shit that I was doing this. I mean, they just don't care.
Yeah.
I live with the money, baby.
Yeah, they don't. They just know they have a good agent. That's it.
Yeah.
But for being in the industry, no, it was never. I never felt like anything was against me. I never felt like because I was Latin or because I was gay. Gay, obviously, like you said, helped.
Yeah.
Or not being Jewish because it's a very big Jewish community. But I will tell you, my best bosses were all Jewish, and they all were great to work with.
Yeah.
But no, nothing negative. Nothing. I had my experience in the entertainment industry has always been really positive.
What else did they tell you to say?
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, I don't get me wrong. I hate them now. I hate all this. I hate all those networks and studios. They're just a bunch of losers.
Yeah. There's that one
So
guy though
stupid,
who just
so
stabbed him. So
Yeah,
yeah,
you
he took care of himself.
Bruckheimer just walking out like,
Wow. I just said you didn't like.
it's from Queens.
What's her name? Tits Rodriguez. That's what Pops Crowder called her yesterday. Oh, look, it's Tits Rodriguez.
That's Pops Crowder, right?
Neighborhood's named Spider-Man. The Cuban quarter head.
She was Spider Tits.
Yeah.
Spider tits, spider tits.
They're just scaling the walls.
She also broke a vase over somebody's head one time because the guy was at lunch because of full water, a big, huge vase. The guy passed out. I don't know if he came back, but
Because he passed out?
yeah,
Wake up!
she knocked him out.
Oh.
Because he was talking bad about this country, and my mom was a major conservative. My whole family is.
Yeah.
And he was Cuban. He was talking about how fantastic Castro is. This back.
Yeah.
And she just stood up. There's 12, 15 people at the table. She just stood up, picked up the vase.
A true patriot.
Yeah, she's like, my friend said, you probably should go home. Okay, bye. I'll come back tomorrow.
I can imagine. All right, let's grab another chat.
From Cobalt Smith, question for Gay William. At what point do legal immigrants band together to speak out against illegals and the insane benefits stolen from real citizens that are given to them by the government?
That's a really good question, actually. It would be nice if there was like some sort of organization of legal immigrants that have been in this country for years, conservatives. Start speaking out about what's going on at the border. How do you do that? I have no idea.
Well, you know what the truth is, that the difficult task would be getting the media to cover them all.
Well, that's not-
Because this is the vast majority of legal immigrants, and certainly Cuban Americans. And I've had a lot of friends who are, again, Brazilians, or most of my experience because I'm Brazilian, you're surrounded by them all the time. And so many of them, they had their picture of them up when they got their citizenship, and they were very proud. And they all had very, very strong opinions on immigration. So it's rare that I encounter someone who's come here legally. Some of them Bolivians, Ecuadorians, so they all, it's as close to a monolith as you get, in my experience, legal immigrants. They're adamant about there needing to be some kind of border security.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, they're usually the biggest advocates. They're the ones, because they make it feel, people like that, they just seem, they're scared they're gonna be the ones that are gonna be harshly persecuted because of them being legal, but people are gonna say that they're gonna say that they're foreign, that they're dark, that they're Latin, and they're like, oh, did you get here legally?
Right.
So you start having that fight.
Yeah.
When, you've been here for 20, 30 years, then the innocent people start getting attacked.
Yeah.
Obviously there's a lot of racism.
Yeah. Yeah.
So but there should be some organization, but like you said, the state media won't cover it.
That being said, Cuban Americans, there are a lot of black people in Cuba. They do tend to be pretty racist against black Americans.
Cubans are very racist about everybody. They are. They're the worst.
Well, it's equal opportunity then.
They're the worst. They don't like anybody.
Yeah.
At all.
Oh,
Weird.
They're okay with white people.
Yeah, you'd be surprised. I don't know. They just Cubans are the Greeks.
Yeah.
They kind of try to marry within.
Mm-hmm.
Like they want to they encourage you to marry another Cuban.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the Greeks are like that. A lot of Greeks seem a little nicer.
Yeah.
The Latins are a little more.
The Greeks don't stab as much.
No.
A little bit more of a history too.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, most of history.
Yeah, most of history. Cuba, tobacco.
Hey.
Hey, there you go.
Trade is
Yeah.
Which is a perfect example, actually.
Sugar.
Sugar, yeah, that's true. Sugar is a big thing. Sugar cane in Cuba. I remember I was one of the few people, I think I told Williams, I was one of the few people to legally, with my passport, have gone to Havana because I was shooting a commercial for, as a Canadian, it was McCain's Rising Crust Pizza. Which is
They needed to go to Cuba?
No, it's very clear the studio had budget. Let's just blow this in the fourth quarter and let's all get a trip to Cuba. So I was in Havana, and by the way, it was shot inside too. There was no reason for us to be in Cuba. And then I also, as an American, went to do some shows in Guantanamo Bay for the troops. And legally, if you're American, you can't go to Havana. And I don't know that anyone outside of Americans, very few go to Guantanamo Bay. I mean, of course, people do it at night, do it legally, right, cross over. But I was one of the few people at that point point in time one of, like, I don't know, 15 or 20 people who had been to both in a way that was recognized by government. And I will tell you this, Havana is not what they tell you Miami Vice. It is not a nice place.
No.
I was almost mugged like 3 times in the first day. I mean, I was a teenager with no one but my mom. And I'm not living in a hotel anymore. And I love chiclets.
Yeah.
I don't know why they kept asking me for chiclets.
Chiclets.
All the
It's just, I don't know if they're asking you or if they're selling you.
You know, they were asking me.
They do that in Mexico too. There was the little
Chiclet.
We'll have to go
They
to
sell them at the border.
Yeah, I have to go to an antique candy store. Like,
No, it's not. It's
I don't know
not
that I've
antique to
seen
them.
a chiclet, though.
That's the thing. It's not antique.
Oh yeah, it's new.
Yeah, but I don't know that. When was the last time you saw chiclets?
All the time,
They
dude.
still make them in other countries.
I guess.
I think it's interesting.
And my mom.
I go to gas stations. I got all that kind of stuff. I live at the gas station.
Let's send Josh out to.
I was raised by a
nearest
gas
station and see if they have chiclets, like flavorless gum.
Yes, it's just gum. It's just
Yeah,
any gum.
Maybe they just mean.
They don't ask for like an extra. Yeah, I think they're just asking for any gum.
No, they're actually chiclets.
You know, sometimes you go to
Yeah,
Bennigan's,
like
you
when you
get
go to, like when you go to Tijuana, they like the people are literally selling like a pack of like 5 in plastic.
yeah, they're selling to you waiting in line to get back into the U.S.
That's fentanyl. That's fentanyl.
Well, now it is.
They walk up and they
Now
take them out of
it
the box. They have like little. There's a box and there's little packages of 5 chiclets.
Yeah.
And they upsell you like a mother.
Yeah. But I don't understand. I don't get the point. Like, either it's a gum that's gonna be really fruity.
No, yeah, it's
or like
it's
breath
got-
gum.
There's different flavors. There's like cinnamon's the red one, and like the white one's mint, and the blue one's
easy to steal.
blue. Or whatever.
Yeah, I can imagine. And
Fell off the box.
what was it that happened? I'm trying to think about what happened in Cuba. I had a story. Oh, my mom almost got someone hauled off to the gulag.
Really?
Yeah, my mom was at the hotel restaurant.
So it's not stabbing, but that's close.
It wasn't stabbing. No, she did it by accident. What happened is, and she tipped the server. And, you know, my mom's, it's always funny when you have my mom with a Hispanic person because she has a French-Canadian accent. So basically a double language barrier. And so she puts it on the hotel, the receipt. And I goes, oh, I'm sorry, will that go to you? And she goes, no. So I goes, okay, scratch it off and I'll give you cash. And she goes, no. And she starts freaking out. They'll know.
Oh yeah.
That I told you I'll get the tip.
Oh.
And so my mom was like, no. And she's going like, keep just leave it on. You don't have to scratch it off, and I'll give you cash. And we would leave things like makeup and cosmetics for housekeeping because those were things I couldn't get. So yeah, it always yeah, things like American. They really wanted lipstick.
No, but like, why would the government want their women to not have access?
No, I think it's just it's embargoes. It's
embargoes.
They literally
Well, there's
can't
gotta
get
be
it.
a friendly
Well, they couldn't get it anyway. They can't afford it. I mean,
Yeah.
Well, I understand the affording part, but I'm just like, if the government is mandating, like, makeup, afuera!
Yes.
You know?
Yeah, it's not
They're
really
like,
their
well,
government.
why? That doesn't seem to make a whole lot of sense.
No me gusta. Stay louder.
It's a lie.
So like even today, still in Cuba.
It's so silly. I'm sorry.
Another guy. What was it?
Even in Cuba, still today, you'll have these stores like the hotels and the restaurants are full, and you walk by and there's a liquor store with tons of liquor and there's food in there. But Cubans aren't allowed in. It's only the tourists.
Right, yeah.
And they do that everywhere. So Cubans
I
are not
hate
allowed.
that.
Well, it's just.
I do. I hate that. That's
terrible.
messed up.
It's real. It's
Well, that's what happens when you live in a communist country like they're trying to do here now.
yeah.
They want to make sure you give everything from the government.
Yeah.
Ration everything.
And I wonder if that's also why Cubans are such hard workers, is because unlike a lot of places where they just have bad economic opportunities, you know, everything was nationalized in Cuba. So you have people who are working on a factory line, like crazy. They probably see someone like Josh said this next to them, who's not working very hard. They make
They get the same wage.
and they come to the States and they realize, oh, wait a second, I will make more than them.
Right.
And so
If I work more than this lazy piece of shit, I can get more money.
yeah,
Well, guess what? I'm working harder. Oh,
Right.
so I can get money on the weekend?
yeah,
Right.
yeah,
Watch out! I can do more.
yeah. It's I think that's what it is. And they actually have a legitimate claim to a
I
side.
think you're right.
Yeah.
I think you're right. I think that's that mindset you're taking out of being governed, and this is all you get. And then you come here, you're like, hold on, what? I can have whatever I want
Yeah.
because I work hard.
And you walk into a store and they let you?
And they let you, and you can buy milk if you have the money, and
Right.
you can get steaks, and I mean stuff that you could never like. You know, my friend, God, I mean, he's a liberal, left Cuba at 24, and he's still a freaking liberal, which I don't understand.
No.
When he left Cuba, you know what their pizza was? Their cheese was condoms.
Wait, what?
What?
Yeah. So they would melt the condoms on the pizza, and that would be their cheese.
That sounds more expensive than cheese.
It was a gay bar.
Oh, well, that's a piece of information. That seems more like a
I'm just
ladies'
kidding. They
night.
wear condoms in a
I was
game.
supposed
Did it have the consistency of fresh mozzarella?
Yes. Apparently it did because they did it a lot.
Me gusta pizza margarita.
Thanks, Jacob.
Peel.
Did you make it to the Zen Wellness thing today? I missed it.
The Alfredo.
Shame.
That was good, Carol.
I apologize.
Okay, so
His
from
mom's in the kitchen.
I had a class last night,
Abby.
so I missed Rob.
In Culture 1986, question for Stephen and Josh, not Gerald. Do you think we'll see some sort of mass casualty event before the election with the amount of illegal aliens coming?
Already happening.
I mean,
A mass casualty event, like a
mass shit.
big event.
Do you mean like terrorism? Because I won't say that South. I don't suspect like the actual just South Americans from, let's say, Honduras or a place like that of mass shootings. You know, more so.
See you later, JC.
Cartels. Or
Have a good one.
If you mean terrorism,
I'm heading to work now. I'd probably do a desktop. We'll see how it goes. I'm gonna listen to the scanner in the area too.
I don't.
I want to test out this phone. I got to get it synced up with
It's a weird. It's kind of a
the
weird
gimbal
question
though.
to answer
This
because
newer phone.
one way you say yes, I think there is. Then now you're like, I don't know. You're expecting. You're like making people feel worried. You say no, I don't think there. Then it just seems careless.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think there's always a possibility of something, but I don't anticipate it.
Hope you have a good
I
day.
don't anticipate anything like that. I don't.
I mean, it's a matter of time if the borders stay open at some point.
Yes.
I don't see how it helps. I don't see how an attack, some kind of mass casualty event helps what is the incumbent, is that what we call Biden?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think it helps him at all.
Yeah, it would hurt him.
Yeah, and I don't think Trump is, I really don't think he needs, even if he was that kind of guy to do that, I don't think he needs to do that. His history of being a president, winning an election, losing an election, I don't know.
He wouldn't have the power to.
Yeah.
In other words, the person with the power, former Vice President Biden, it would hurt his chances, and then you have someone like Donald Trump who doesn't have the power to. So who would orchestrate it would be my speculation.
I mean, if I mean, look at the election season. It's going to be a chaotic season, right? We already know that. There's going to be a lot of anger on both sides and frustration, and people ginning up the controversy to try to, get clicks and likes and donations, and all of that stuff is going to happen. So if you're a foreign adversary going, well, there's already kind of a powder keg there, I'm going to just throw a match into it, like do a big mass casualty event that they can both blame on each other for their own. Well, it's because of you, because of guns. No, it's because of you, open borders, that kind of thing. Maybe to sow more of that, possibly, but I don't know. I mean, I think that threat exists. The longer the border is open, the more people that are terrorists come in. We've
Meaning
seen
actual
terrorists.
not a conspiracy about.
Correct. Yeah. No. I don't. They didn't say about the government, right?
Well, the implication is before the election. If you're saying a mass casualty event before the election, it would imply planned.
Maybe. Yeah. That's true.
For some kind of reason.
Maybe they just putting kind of a weird date on it.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know, before the election. I don't know. Before.
Interesting question.
Should we be watching for this person? Like,
Yeah, I have no idea. Make sure no blades. No household. Let's go to the show.
Except for a Blade 1 and 2.
All right, later, bud.
3 was crap.
3 was crap.
I'm going.
What about 10?
He needed to pay his taxes.
He did.
My mom's dead, so you don't have to worry about that, Blade.
But worry about her vote.
Yes, that's true. That's true.
All right, final chat from Call Me Ice Bitch.
What up, Ice Bitch?
Question for Steven. What's your favorite part of Breaking News Story?
Oh, you said this is the final chat?
What was that last chat?
You said it. Did I say last chat? I remember saying. I thought I said next chat.
You said one more chat. You said one more.
All right.
This one.
I will say this, and I've said this before. The parts that I really get to enjoy are things that I sort of get to enjoy as a fan. So, having at one point had to do every single job here, I like being able to, because I also won't have the time to, for example, go up to Chippewa Falls or to break these stories myself. Once upon a time, people may not remember this, but if we did a very large exclusive story, or changed my mind, we would not have shows for a couple of days, right? We have to stagger. But always you felt damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Right, yeah.
We want more of these, more on location. And then say, where's the daily show? So I just can't be multiple places at once. So I'm always aware of things that are going on. Again, we have certain protections in place to keep anonymity of even the people who work here.
Yeah.
Where I don't even know their names. I see them all the time, but we keep that distance in case we're home called in, as was threatened by the Nashville mayor, enlisting the FBI. But then, at a certain point, I get to sit back once I clear it, cross the T's and dot the I's, and I get to enjoy the work that other people have done. And really, it just comes down to sort of being the conduit here, and hopefully I do. I really try and do a good job of giving them credit and saying this is not a me thing, and this is really a you thing. It's Mug Club to these units, and I just happen to be directing it. I wish other people were doing it. I wish other people were doing this kind of investigative work. And honestly, one of them, it surprised me. I think you were there when one of these reporters said this.
Jared, good to see you, buddy.
Investigative piece a long time ago, and we covered it on the show. And the reason they came to us later on is just because we gave them credit.
Yeah.
We said, oh, by the way, great work. And their material had been used, for example, in Fox News and other outlets. And I think some of it covered over their watermark.
Yeah.
And tried to pass it off as their own. The truth, I have no interest in trying to steal it for something.
That happens all the time.
I want more of these people out there. I don't care if it's coming from us.
Right.
And that was before they ever worked with me. I said, yeah, we made some jokes that were we all thought was funny. And of course, some of the people we worked with thought were mildly inappropriate. They said, but you gave us credit for what we did. And so when we were looking to do this more full time and bring recording projects, we wanted to reach out to you. So that feels good, and I get to enjoy it as a fan. Same thing with the conference. I don't have to be the primary performer. I can actually watch it just like you would watch a sketch or something, as opposed to I don't really like watching myself.
It's weird, right?
Yeah.
It's weird.
Well, it's just you don't get to watch it as entertainment. You watch it as a critic of yourself. So that's more enjoyable for me. Other chat. Last
chat. A decent question asker. Question for Gay William. What reactions do you get from crybabies when you tell them you'll vote for Trump? And what's your favorite troll to do to them?
Oh, I love this one. So I was with my partner for 20 years, and he voted for Biden, and I dumped him.
I know, but
No joke.
But two things. Okay, William. First off, obviously you are gay, so most of the people you'd be interested in are going to be liberal. And this guy, you worked with him for 20 years, he was always a Democrat.
Yeah, but it wasn't so toxic, right? I just felt like, here's the way I looked at it. I felt like you're voting for somebody, you're voting for a party that literally wants to take me down in business, that wants to make my life hard, that wants to make it more expensive for me to live. No matter how hard I work, they want to take it all. And you're voting for that, and I'm basically the breadwinner of the house. So now, you just took it away from yourself because I'm gone.
The context behind that is very important too, because the election was 2020. This is the year that comedy was shut down. People don't think about that as just not regular life.
Right.
But as things were opening up and as businesses were opening back up after very heavy liberal policies, the comedy clubs and the comedy industry was still being held down. There was restaurants being open, and social distancing happened, but comedy clubs couldn't open because there were nightclub and weird policies about liquor laws or whatever. So Williams' business, his career, literally being attacked by the same people.
Right. Yeah, exactly. But with outside people that are in the gay community. Oh, I was in Palm Springs with school teachers. By the way, all male school teachers are fags. Every single one of them. Every single one of them. Every single one of them. They're all gay, but they're really closeted, which I think is really weird. So if you go to the Palm Springs Schools District, any of the schools district, they're all gay. I mean, they all hang out. The principal's gay, but they don't talk about it, right? And that's why a lot of school teachers, principals will live outside their district because they don't want parents seeing them like at the gay bars. It's real. This has been going on for years, but they're all gay, just, or fucking pedophiles. Apparently, because they want little Timmy to see how
we get the
Yeah, they were getting in trouble for teaching
anyway,
them.
so I was at a bar. I was hanging out with a friend, my school teacher, and these ugly fat fags were showing these like a meme on Trump, like to the toilet or whatever it was, and I didn't laugh. But I didn't make a reaction. I didn't say anything. And all of a sudden, the fat pig goes, "Oh my God, you a Trumper!" And my friend and I were sitting, we're like, okay. So I'm not starting this fight.
Right.
But I'm gonna finish it,
Yes.
bitch.
Just like your mom. Yes.
So he just attacked, and I just went at it. I'm like, you fat fag. I mean, in the mom. Fat. You're a loser. You want this Biden dude? You're an idiot. I mean, I just went on and on. I just screamed, and they escorted me out
They did escort you out?
of the city.
The city.
Wow. That's the worst city in the world.
But you still go.
No. I go because I still have a lot of my doctors back in LA. The doctor's a little freaky in Fort Lauderdale. So I still have my doctors back in LA.
Yeah, they're all
Wouldn't you like that?
Yeah, they're weird. Far too many heterosexual, accredited docs.
There's some really good ones. There's some really good ones that I go to, but then like the majority of my doctors, I still keep in LA, like my back person. Like I still have to go back there.
Yeah.
So and then one is in Palm Springs, so I still go there like once a year. But Palm Springs is it's such a lost cause.
Did you know there's a city in Washington? If you live in Washington, you might know what I'm talking about. It's Yakima.
Yeah.
And when you drive into Yakima on the highway, there's a big sign that says, "Welcome to Yakima, the Palm Springs of Washington." I always thought, like, is there a sign in Palm Springs? Like Yakima, California.
No.
Does it have the gay communist flag?
Like an international.
That's what
state.
Kyle, my partner Kyle calls it. He calls it the communist flag,
The rainbow flag.
the rainbow flag. I hate fags.
So, William, look, I think the real solution here is, I mean, and I understand too, it's got to be, and by the way, William, of course you love it, it does take a spine to live this way your whole life. I mean, obviously he's going to run into fights, and obviously you probably have a little bit more of your mother in you than maybe you'd like to acknowledge it. However, sometimes, and I'm not saying you should take the path of resistance when it's morally incorrect. Sometimes, though, the easy door is the correct door. And looking at the totality of your situation and appreciating your zeal, you still have to go to Palm Springs. The solution is just to get a new proctologist in Fort Lauderdale. We'll see you tomorrow.
I'm gonna play some On Your Oath. He's got a good video out. Google Maps. Let's do this.
This is Corporal Alan Gantry, a 20-year veteran and former school resource officer with the Meriden, Connecticut. Corporal Gantry thought on dash camera. This is just one of the reasons I hate and fear cameras.
Dickhead. What are you doing? Wait all fucking day. Really? Where does it say that? It says stop here on red. Really? Where does it say that? It says stop here on red. You're the one sitting on your phone. I wasn't on my phone. Really? I wasn't. Yeah, I saw you looking down here and everything else. Okay, well, sure, sounds good. Let me get your badge number. Want to get arrested? You're going to get arrested for assault of civilians.
Rocky Hill now, gas to emergency.
Yeah, I was just assaulted by a police officer who punched me in the face through my window.
When officers with the Rocky Hill, Connecticut Police Department confronted him, Corporal Ganter thought he could use his blue line privilege and lie his way out of it, until he was told that it was all caught on dash camera.
Is he pressing charges against me? Like for breach? Yeah, because I yelled at him and stuff? For assault, because you hit him. Maybe his video that you hit.
Rocky Hill cops later spoke with Corporal Ganter, who admitted on body cam footage to punching Broculia. Ganter was formally charged with second-degree breach of peace and third-degree assault. Meriden police also suspended Ganter for 5 days without pay and reassigned him after an internal affairs investigation.
That's it? That's it? 5 days off. You do that to a cop, you're lucky to be alive.
These cops don't ever leave us alone. We're chilling in our safe space we call our car. What's up, everybody? Here's a video from, this is from Clean Game. He's got 15 subs. Tell him I sent you. Go over there. I'm gonna put this on 1.5 speed. There's not much to see here, so. Dude's just driving for Grubhub, and he's just chilling in the parking lot, waiting for his next ride. But if you're out in a car, in public, in America, you might get harassed and or deleted from Earth by guys rolling around in costumes and guns that are very ignorant and don't know anything about freedom or care to know anything about freedom or care to protect freedom in any way, shape, or form. I'm going to be interrupted. If you don't like it, leave. Link in the description.
If the answers, granted, what did I do wrong? What's the information? I'm trying to figure out what you're doing here, man. Yeah, but you can only ask if I'm a suspect or something. I'm not a suspect. What are we doing back here, man? Well, I'm just hanging out. I'm waiting for my job. Doing deliveries. Deliveries? You deliver here? Or where we? Yeah.
Immediately with the questions. Sir. Every time they ask you a question, sir, ask them a question. Sir.
All over there in New Jersey. What do you deliver? Grubhub? Yeah. This is the app, just so you can see. I'm not doing anything wrong. But
so he shows them. He's back there. He's delivering for Grubhub. You think that would de-escalate him, but no, they got to have that ID crack. You got to have that ID crack. It must generate something that gets written down somewhere and gets logged and looked at by somebody to show their productivity, or else they wouldn't press so hard for the ID. They would not.
You drink anything tonight? Is that over there? Is that just sparkling water? What is that? I'm not drinking anything, sir. This here? Yeah, is that sparkling water?
Going for the DUI angle right there.
There we go, spring water. That's all I want to see. Do you have any, just any ID by chance, man? I can give you my name, Edward.
Oh, here we go. See, it goes from where you doing, where you come from, where you going, what are you drinking. Now please surrender your Fourth Amendment right to privacy.
Edward, just Edward, yeah.
So here's the herb that MCC and frickin' were at the other night. And that bald-headed wonder decided he was going to give him shit. I wonder where they parked.
Brought to you by Pfizer.
There's gonna be a real Taco Bell there.
Hello there, you Awakening Wonders. Thanks for joining me today for Stay Free with Russell Brand, where we could be on the very precipice of nuclear war. So let's put all of our problems into perspective, because, you know, when Armageddon comes, we're going to have to radically reorganise, but there's no need to put aside conviviality, congeniality, and good old-fashioned politeness. Swazi Steve, welcome to the Locals Chat. Thank you for becoming an Awakened Wonder. You know, our Awakened Wonder community is important. They've already seen our conversation today with Rand Paul, when we asked him whether or not he would be replacing Mitch McConnell as the minority leader in the Senate. You can see his answer to that, as well as some of his views on Anthony Fauci. Just one of the benefits of becoming a member of our movement is you get to directly speak to political leaders, independent figures, and the very people that are going to come together potentially to end global Armageddon. We've got some fantastic content on the show today. We're looking at that moment between Kid Rock and Joe Rogan, where Joe Rogan showed more diplomacy and elegance than, wow, I don't know, James Baldwin, certainly any member of the current administration who in their bellicosity would shame Genghis Khan. Kid Rock, man, he's up for it. So listen, for the first 15 minutes, we are going to be on YouTube over there, but you are going to eventually have to click the link in the description to join us in that stream of freedom that is Rumble. And if you want to become an Awakened Wonder and support our content, you know we would appreciate you. You know we love you, Andy Batts. We know we love you, Swazi Steve. You're very, very welcome. All of you guys. Now, the reason that our man Vladimir Putin, and when I say our man, I don't mean I advocate for or in any way support Vladimir Putin.
Spaghetti dinner, April 9th, huh?
All the silliest of sausages.
When's Easter?
It seems to be because he's somewhat agitated that NATO is indeed getting bigger with the invitation of Sweden, the inclusion of Sweden into NATO. Let me know in the comments. Do you feel safer knowing Sweden is in NATO? Y or N in the chat right now. Y or N in the chat right now. Let's have a look at, first of all at Putin threatening war.
Говорили о возможности отправки на Украину натовских военных контингентов. Но мы помним судьбу.
He's of course referring to the Napoleonic invasions and Nazi invasions that didn't go well for either Hitler or Napoleon. And isn't it astonishing to contemplate that now those kind of, not invasions, but conflicts are backed by this bureaucratic bodies? I mean, what is NATO even? What is NATO? NATO was vital. Vital. Without NATO, the Soviet Union would have endlessly expanded and turned the whole world commie. Don't have a Soviet Union anymore. So what's NATO doing? Well, brokering weapons deals. Without NATO, can I ask who would broker our precious weapons deals?
Судьбу тех, кто направлял когда-то свои контингенты на территорию нашей страны. Но теперь
Enjoying the speech much over in Russia, are they? That sort of eyebrow man there, if you could see him on the screen, he's actually, I don't think he's actually fully awake.
Действия для возможных интервентов будут гораздо более трагичны. Они тоже есть оружие, все знают об этом. Сейчас только я скажу. Тоже есть оружие, которое может поражать цели на их территории. И что все они придумывают сейчас, чем пугают.
Vladimir Putin outlining pretty plainly a problem that anyone really operating within the realms of common sense could identify pretty quickly. I'm noticing in the chat that you're having some issues with the stream. Let me know now if you can hear me clearly or if it's glitchy, and we'll have to work out whether or not this is as a result of some kind of cyber attack, hack, or some other issue. Carl Rhino says the stream is fine. Those of you watching us on YouTube, we're going to be asking you, well, is it going well over there? Let us know in the chat over there. You Awakened Wonders, how's it going there? You can hear clearly. You've got a refresher on the page. Thank you very much, all of you guys, because I think when you're talking about potential nuclear apocalypse, it's pretty important that we are heard. Absolutely. In fact, I would argue. Let's have a look at the rest of Putin's announcement, which seems to be precisely what many people anticipated.
The Riverwalk is closed.
The clear statement that if NATO continues to expand, in particular one assumes on former Soviet Union borders, it's going to be a problem. Let's have a look.
Весь мир, что все это реально грозит конфликтом с использованием ядерного оружия.
Does it worry you at all that what Putin is now saying is exactly what, like, you and maybe your dad said when all of this started to escalate? But if you keep, like, escalating tensions with Russia, couldn't there be, like, you know, a nuclear war? Because Russia is a nuclear power. So even though the support of Ukraine and Ukrainian sovereignty, with all of its complexity, when you consider how this war began and whether or not indeed it did begin in 2014 with a CIA-sponsored coup, and with the New York Times who previously denied it, admitting that there's CIA bases in Ukraine and have been for the last 10 years. Is it worth us prioritizing perhaps a diplomatic solution to a problem that could lead to an actual, literal nuclear war?
А значит, уничтожением цивилизации. А ничего этого не понимаешь, что ли?
Russian army looking pretty hard. So, it seems though that even though what Vladimir Putin's saying was pretty important, many people watching it are bored out of their minds.
Потому что реализовать все задуманное...
Just a chubby Clive Anderson there, it's an English reference, bored out of his nut by Armageddon. The fella there, I guess I suppose is that like Russian Orthodox Church official. He don't seem that into it. Foreground beard man, he don't care.
Других задач. И при этом...
That guy, no, he's overreacting. Oh no, Armageddon. Chill out, mate, it's only Armageddon. Perhaps there's an afterlife. Perhaps you'll be unified with love itself. Perhaps that vibrant nothingness within you, in which your thoughts take place, within which you feel sensations, this vibrant nothingness that is consciousness itself. Perhaps the very I that Christ refers to when it says that the way to the Father is through I. Perhaps when Pope Aquinas says the kingdom of heaven is what we will return to after Armageddon. Perhaps that's why so many warmongers of previous hawkish Republican administrations.
All right, guys. I probably am going to do a desktop stream, so check it out. We'll see what we can find to watch. I don't know if anybody's live or anything now, but we'll find something. We got the quartering at 1 too. So. Thanks for riding with me.
Tell me when, Lord.
Testing the new work iPhone. Seems to work a whole lot better than the other one did.
Materialist, communist, there is